That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 179 of Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, Old Ron.
And we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange, and kitty? Meow? Oh, we both meowed at the same time. That's pretty good. I like the roll. You roll your R's.
The roll is where it's at.
It really is. Well, I'm back from a hiatus.
Oh yeah, you wanna give us a little insight on what you're up to?
I can give you guys a little insight of what I was up to. It's Camp Strange related, so I can give you a little teaser, okay? So I was out in 29 Palms, which is the desert Palm Springs area, and I was shooting a short film. A self-funded short film. As you guys know, the writer's strike is happening right now. I have all the time in the world, but when you have time, you don't have money, and when you have money, you don't have time. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to self-fund this short film. Got like 8 people together, rented a bunch of camera equipment and lights and everything like that, and we went out to an Airbnb, and we shot an alien film.
Mm-hmm.
It's a horror sci-fi.
Okay, you're not giving yourself enough credit because you not only wrote the thing, but you directed it as well.
I did. I wrote and directed it. I did a little set deck too. I had some time. But I'm happy to say that. Oh, also we pulled all-nighters, so we worked through the night because it had to be at night, which was grueling. But I'm happy to say I have a very rough cut of the first draft done, and David saw it.
I did,
and I'm very happy with the product.
It's dog shit. It's fucking dog shit. No, it's actually, I know I'm biased, but it's incredible. It's very well done. It's missing. I mean, it's not finished. Obviously, there's a few things missing from it, which I watched it with my wife, and typically when you watch something that's not finished, like you'll get a black slate screen with a title saying like what shot's gonna go there, and Riley was like, "I don't get it." And I was like, oh no, yeah, they haven't shot that part yet. It'll go in later. It's like, oh, okay.
When it says old man listening to radio in his car, she's like, this is an interesting creative choice.
Very avant-garde.
I mean, you guys will have, oh, God bless America. You guys will.
That's probably loud. I tried to.
There you go. God bless. But you guys will have a chance. We're going to try to do a little crowdfunding thing, to raise some money to get into some film festivals and stuff. So you guys will know about that. Maybe we'll release it on Camp Strange, and if you donate or something, once the film's done, we'll send you a copy of it or something like that.
You guys will love it
if you're interested. Yeah,
if you like this podcast, you will love it. I mean, in a sense, though, like it's not within our realm of humor.
No, it's not.
It's
funny.
a serious piece.
It's a horror thriller sci-fi.
Yes, there's not really humor involved in it.
There's like a couple little chuckle parts
of course,
where you go like, oh, this piece of shit. Oh, and also the main star of it. There's only one person, and he was a guest.
And I'm still mad about his guest appearance
because he brought a better story than us.
Yes, he brought an incredible story that we didn't know, and it was arguably one of the better stories we've ever had on the show.
And it was an alien abduction story.
It was an alien abduction story. Our
sweet
boy
Sam Skolnick.
Yes.
I don't know
incredible actor.
Yeah, and I don't know what episode that was, but you guys go listen to it if you want to hear his episode. But
it's a pretty early one.
It's like it's in the I think 60s or 70s.
Yeah. Because I've always seen Sam act in comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen him do a more serious role, and I was blown away. It was really good.
I agree. I was I wasn't taking a risk. I've seen him do some acting, drama acting.
He's got the chops.
He himself says he's I'm not he's more of a commercial guy. He's more of a comedy guy. So I was like, can you do this? And he's like, yeah. And we worked on it for 2 or 3 months before we went and shot it, and I would direct him prior to the film. So when we got there, he kind of knew the character just as or even better than I did. So it really worked out. And
we
What?
always forget this.
What?
Because we've brought this up before. Sam, it was the guest on episode 69.
69.
Nice.
The horny episode.
The horny episode, 69, December 13th, 2019.
Wow. Wait, 2019?
We've been doing this since 2018. August
I know.
21st. We're almost on our anniversary. That's right. Our anniversary is my wedding anniversary. Whoops.
Yep.
I didn't pick the date.
but hey, serendipity, right?
Yep.
But yeah, so the movie's called Star Wave, by the way. So look forward to that if you guys want to see it. Maybe you could donate. If not, that's fine too. I'm sure I'll release it eventually. But donators get it first. So anyway, that's for another time and another place. We have another show to tell you about, and it's called Camp Strange. And we got some weird news to fucking catch you up on. And before we get into the weird news, another little sidebar. I remember, speaking of like 2019, I think I was kind of bringing up like horror movies when we first started this.
Yeah.
And one of the movies I brought up was Terrifier. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Have you seen the sequel?
Dude, did you see the sequel?
I did.
I just watched it. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck it. I'll put it on. I don't
They
know.
upped
I've
the
heard
ante.
about it. Dude, I have never seen a movie more grotesque in my life.
Yeah. No, that's an experience. The first one was like pretty extreme. Second one takes it to a whole new level.
The scene with like the girl in the bedroom.
Oh,
when,
yeah.
like, dude, and like also the guy in like the Halloween shop, like those
Yeah.
two, I'm like, this is insanity.
Yes.
Is like when you think it's gonna end, it goes on for 5 more minutes, and you're just like, this is so crazy. But
Yes. If you guys like gory to the extreme horror movies, check out the Terrifier franchise, the 2 films.
the only thing that like makes it more palatable is that it's so schlocky. It's so like
It's so B. What's it
yeah.
called? B.
like a B movie.
Yeah, B movie.
Not
Not
starring-
Jerry Steinfeld.
That's what I was gonna say. It's
Not-
just like
not
the
the-
B movie.
Not the B movie, but a B movie.
And yeah, so it's kind of like you can. It's almost like comforting, like how like silly it is. It's like very silly, but then when those scenes come in, even though it's silly and it's schlocky, those scenes.
Or the
Or
cereal
no-
commercial.
Oh my god, I forgot about that, dude. Like all that, I'm like, how? Like the balls on
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy, like to make. But like I respect it because like I have never seen a movie that goes that over the top with gore.
No, God no.
And it like looks pretty good, but like
They
not
put all the budget into the
special effects makeup.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like it's not like too over the it is over the top,
It
but
is
like
very-
no, it doesn't look so real where I'm like there's a couple parts that look pretty real, but
Yeah.
it doesn't look so real that I'm like this is like I am so upset. I just have to kind of look away and go oh and like laugh about it because it's so like but fuck man, that movie fucked me up a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It was a good one.
What's
Anyway.
it? What is it on Amazon Prime?
Dude, it's free. You can watch it on Roku, Tubi,
Okay.
or Pluto. All of
Okay.
those are.
I think I watched it on Amazon Prime. I'm not positive where I watched
I
it.
watched it on Pluto, and Pluto's a free app, and it's
Yeah.
great because they have the Bob Barker era Prices Right on there, and you can just watch old Prices Right all the time, which I do, and it's great.
Yeah. Sure.
Anyway, so do that as a palate cleanser after that movie, so you could fucking sleep.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's catch you up on some news. I just had to get that off my chest.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's just keep going with the gore. Man thrust American flag through another man's head at Sonic, Oklahoma cop says.
Holy fuck.
I can't think of a more American thing I've ever read in my life.
Holy shit.
American flag through the head at Sonic in Oklahoma.
Was one of them on rollerblades?
I don't think it was one of the
Employees.
servers. Yeah,
No,
because it
darn.
says a Oklahoma man is accused of thrusting a flagpole through another man's head at Sonic. Officer responded to a call about a stabbing at a restaurant at 7:30, August 2nd, to find a victim with a large American flag lodged in his skull.
Like eye socket, mouth,
Well,
nose.
It said
No
that
specification.
Oh, no, it does actually. It says witnesses told the police they saw a man identified as Clinton Collins charge at the victim and stab him with a flagpole through his head. That's what he gets, Collins says. Witnesses told police he deserved it. So it says it took longer to help the victim, whose injuries put firefighters in a delicate predicament. The pole entered the victim's head beneath his jaw and exited through the other side of his head near his right temple area. Whoa. The American flag was still attached to the pole at the time, so they had to cut off part of it to fit him into the ambulance. It says, miraculously, we're told the victim will survive his injuries, but will likely lose an eye. I just had to tell you this to get you prefaced for Terrifier. But
Jesus.
I just thought that was like pretty fucking intense and pretty patriotic.
Yeah.
I mean, okay,
did they dive into why?
They didn't. He just said he deserved it, and the guy's like, I fucking did it. So, like, it was probably something like he
He had a Joe Biden sticker.
He was trying to peel the sticker off the "I did this" on the gas pump with the Joe Biden pointing at the price. He was trying to peel it off, so I ran at him with the gold pointy part of the American flag. That's what my question is. Do you think he stabbed him with that gold pointy part?
Yeah, in my mind, it was one of those situations where it had the little eagle.
Yeah.
But the wing snapped off.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But those aren't that sharp, but I guess it's like if you thrust hard enough.
Yeah. I wonder if he jousted it with his pickup truck. If he like put it on like, you know, that little like the little dent where the side mirror is. You got the side mirror.
Yeah.
Wonder if he just slapped that bad boy like right there to stabilize it and just.
I think he would have left with the whole head on the end of the stick.
True.
I think he just said he ran at him, but still like pretty good
speed.
Yeah, like geez, like I want that guy on my he would be one of those guys behind like the front shield guys.
Oh yeah.
You know, where they poke out the spears.
Yeah.
Those guys are good.
Yeah.
God, that would suck to be on the fucking front lines of the war. Are those guys
any of them?
Are those guys the worst fighters or the best fighters?
It's a good question.
Like, I would not put my best fighters up there, right?
No, you'd want to have them ready for a better situation.
That's the thing. You don't want to be a medium fighter, like a medium okay fighter, because that's when I think you get on the front line. Bad fighter, like, don't go to the. You're at the back.
You're dumping the porridge over the walls.
If you're a bad fighter,
a good job.
Yeah, the magma.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it what is it? It's like tar, right?
I think there have been multiple hot liquids poured over the side of castles.
That's the worst way to go. I'd rather get stabbed or like hit with a sword than like tarred.
Yeah, I'd rather get hit with a trebuchet, just blow me up right there.
Honestly, I wouldn't even know it was coming.
Yeah.
You've seen that scene in Lord of the Rings where the guy just steps out of the way and it kills the guy behind him?
Yeah.
So sick.
Or that part in The Patriot when the guy's head blows up off the
cannonball. That's a cannonball, dude. Yeah. That's the best one.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit stayed in my mind forever as a child.
Yeah.
Also, another cannonball goes rolling and takes off a guy's leg in that movie. I remember that.
Yeah, that looked worse. I think that was worse to me than the head explosion.
Yeah, because head explosion's quick. Leg is like you're probably going to get trampled to death by your own men, and if not, they're going to do that thing at the end of a war where they go around and just see who's people alive. Yeah, you're going to get s'mored. You're going to get fucking poked with a stick. Marshmallowed your ass, bitch.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that's that.
How about this? An Italian man has been crushed to death under thousands of wheels of Parmesan-style cheese.
Fuck, that was my second story. I like that one too.
Well, you read them, so why don't you just expand on it?
So this man, his name was Giacomo Chiapparini. He was 74 years old, and I don't know why he was still working. That's my thing. Yeah. But he's working at a warehouse in the Lombardy region on Sunday, and I guess a shelf broke.
You on BBC?
Excuse me?
You on bbc.com/news/world
Yes.
Europe
Yes.
664299342?
When you said
we're looking at the same article.
Yeah, when you said BBC though, I thought you were
No, that I wonder how hard that has hit that news publication.
it hit them hard. They're really struggling with the search engine right now to get their news above all those videos. But it's fucked up because the warehouse shelf broke, and as you could see, domino affected thousands of wheels of cheese, which I would ask you how much do you think a cheese wheel weighs, but you already know. You're looking at the article.
I do now.
84 fucking pounds each.
That's crazy.
That's a heavy ass wheel of cheese. Thousands fell off. And here's the fucked up part. It took so many cheese wheels fell off and fell on top of this 74-year-old man that it took the firefighters 12 hours to find his body.
And they fell 33 feet.
I'm seeing that now too. Literally think of like an 84-pound anything falling 33 feet and then multiply that by thousands.
Yeah. That's like one of my biggest fears is like being in one of those like
Crushed by
shipping
cheese?
departments.
Oh,
No, one of those
yes.
shipping departments where someone clips one of the
My God, yeah.
like the scaffolding or whatever full of whatever they're making, and it dominoes and all of them fall. I've seen videos of that, and it's just like crazy.
Well, here's my question too. You are a frequent forklifter, correct?
Not so much anymore, but I can hop
You've
on a
dabbled.
forklift. Yeah, I can dabble.
But like that like would you stay in the forklift or would you try to run? It's kind of safer in the forklift, correct? There's no like ceiling, but it got some like ball
It's got like a roll cage kind of thing.
Yeah. So
Kinda
like
depends on what's collapsing around you.
that's true. I've seen one where like beer cans and shit or like full beer cans.
Yeah.
Like the whole warehouse goes
Pallets,
down.
yeah.
Like pallets of beer and stuff. That's like horrid. Where it's like I don't think about people getting injured because it looks like people run out of the way, but I think about the mess.
Oh God.
Would you just walk out of the job?
Yeah.
Or would you just try to like justify like not getting fired? Be like, no, it wasn't my fault.
Oh, I thought you meant just walk out so you don't have to deal with cleaning up.
Well, you're like, I want to keep my job but not clean this up.
I have COVID.
You're going to make me touch all this? I'm going to get everyone sick. Oh, man. Well, R.I.P. Cheeseman.
Yeah.
Giacomo. Poor guy. I mean, but here's the question. This is one of those situations where people go, do you think this guy must have loved cheese, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think this was an honorable death to this guy.
Well, like, you know, when people go like, it's how he would have wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think?
100%. He's 74.
Like, he had a good life, right?
Yeah. Great life, moving cheese.
Parmesan.
Live by the cheese, die by the cheese.
It's true.
It's an honorable death by Italian standards.
It kind of is. Like,
Yeah.
I like how two deaths that we've had one wasn't a death, but two accidents or almost fatalities that we had were both very reminiscent of their countries.
And very cheesy.
Yeah. Were stabbed in the head by an American flag at Sonic or crushed to death by thousands of wheel of cheeses in Italy. Pretty good. Anyway,
Pretty good.
I'm out of another news story, but I talked about Terrifier, so I feel like I kind of
Okay.
used a news story.
How about this? A dog hit the pedal on a golf cart and ran over a 4-year-old.
I saw that.
Who was uninjured. The little girl's okay.
It's like I don't need to know if she's okay. It's still funny. It makes me feel better.
Yeah.
She would have been fine. It's a golf cart. Like, has anybody died from getting run over by a golf cart?
I'm sure someone has.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But yes, her name was Bella, the dog.
I was gonna say the kid or the dog.
The dog was actually a firefighter dog.
Oh, what the fuck?
So firefighters were on site already, so they were able to like take care of the situation. But yeah,
That dog done lost his hat. You take its firefighter hat away from him. You know those big hats they have?
yeah,
Never think about that. Firefighter hats are kind of funny.
yeah. They're like a backwards hat.
Yeah, they're kind of weird, right? What the fuck do they have those for?
Fire.
It's like a hard hat?
Yeah. So shit's collapsing and beams of wood. It just rattles their brain. Doesn't liquefy them.
Should I design a new firefighter hat? Should it be shaped kind of like the point of an axe, so they could just run at doors and jump at them, and the door will bust open?
That's a really good idea.
I know.
Or what if they were made out of water?
Okay, now you're talking.
Yeah.
What if their head was just in one of those big water cooler things?
Oh.
Their head was like a Futurama fucking head.
Yeah, they just have a little snorkel.
Yeah. Or we just train firefighters to hold their breaths longer. Get David Blaine in there. He teaches them how to hold their breaths for 14 minutes.
Hey, man, I've been saying for years we need to get David Blaine in the workforce. Improve things.
I've been saying it for years. That guy's had it too easy for too long. Make him work.
Yeah.
I'm tired of him shoving quarters and sharp pieces through his hand.
I'm tired of him going into Harrison Ford's home and scaring him. You ever seen that video?
Hey, why don't you stop scaring Lin-Manuel Miranda and come change my oil?
Have you seen the video when he goes into Harrison Ford's house?
No.
He does a magic trick and Harrison Ford just goes, "Get the fuck out of my house."
Why? Harrison Ford would be the last person I would think would be down to have a magician in his house. Why did he?
But on the same side of that spectrum, he would be the first person I would think.
You might be right.
Yeah.
He's an enigma. I don't know about him.
Yeah. He didn't want any of this. He just wants to go crash planes.
Did he do that?
He's crashed 3 planes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He gonna be new Red Hulk?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
He's already always red.
Yeah. Yeah, with a bottle of whiskey in his hand. Maybe that's why he's crashing those planes.
I got one more news story, but I'm only going to read the title and we're going to move on. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio praises Indian man for discovering a new fish in a bucket. All right, let's get into these longer stories.
Fish in a bucket? I call that a firefighter's hat.
A new fish.
It's
new
called
a firefighter.
I love that. All around, that's a great. I want to know so much more, but I think it's more beautiful to not. I don't want to know any. I want to know, but I don't. I'm like Harrison.
Loving it, though.
I'm like Harrison Ford with the magician. I want it, but I don't.
It's good when the banner photo of this article is just Leonardo. It's not even this new fish that we should be excited about.
I know. What the fuck? You really think it's a new fish?
Yeah. Hey, Leo wouldn't be praising anybody over some old fish.
I heard he's stinky. I heard he doesn't take showers that often.
Yeah. He's a stinky boy.
I heard he'd be getting Arnie in the bathtub.
Whoa.
He'd be not want to take a bath.
Yeah.
Remember What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
No.
What? You never seen that?
No.
Oh, Johnny Depp leaves him in the bath overnight by accident. He gets all cold. Anyway. Mama too fat. Mama die. They had to crane her out. You should watch that movie. It's good.
It sounds hilarious.
It's really good.
Okay. I believe you.
So okay, let's get into these. Okay, I once again David. I once again forgot to write an intro, but the reason I chose this story, I'm just gonna off the fly. Yeah. The reason I chose this story is because of a lot that was going on. Like I told you, I was filming an alien film out in the desert, and while we were out there, that's when the news broke about these congressional hearings that you and my boy Uncle Jerry covered. Did a great job. I listened to it. I really wanted to chime in through the radio, but I could not. But
you peasant.
and I was like, there's so much alien talk going on right now, and I don't usually cover aliens because, weirdly enough, like I like aliens, but I don't find them like extremely fascinating, like
Okay.
UFOs for the most part. I find like alien lore and interactions with actual aliens much more fascinating. Like
Yeah.
who's that alien that farts in Pennsylvania, I think we call it
Sandown?
the 10. No, that's Sandown Clown. I guess that's an alien too. 10-foot farter, 10-foot tall farter.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
that was the name of that one. I can't remember the fucking. He looked like an owl. It was like kind of owl looking. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But
Oh,
yeah,
continue.
Yeah,
They'll
you'll
come
think
into
of
my-
him.
yeah.
But I like those kind of interactions. Like those fascinate me so much more than somebody being like, I saw something in the sky. I'm like, I need more because I think it's just more fascinating. That's why I stick with like historical or monsters or ghosts, because people have like one-on-one reactions with that when we're getting, that kind of shit. So, but I found this alien story that is just chock full of lore, and I just found it so fascinating. So today I want to talk about a guy who was semi-responsible for, I think, aliens in pop culture today. That he kind of created a whole new lore system for these humanoids. And so today I want to tell you about the story of Richard Sharp Shaver and the Shaver Mystery. So Richard Sharp Shaver was born October 8th, 1907 in Berwick, Pennsylvania. Little is reliably known about Shaver's early life, which is great. We don't need it. But that's okay, because this man's life only really became interesting in 1932 while working on an assembly line at a factory, and odd things began to occur, which is, David, you're very familiar. You're a man of the factory, and odd things occur when you got You're gonna love this next part because it's so perfect. So, according to one of his coworkers named Bruce, Shaver began to notice that one of the welding guns on his job site, by some freak of its coil field attunements, he says, was allowing him to hear the thoughts of the men working around him.
Okay.
Now, can you imagine that at your place of work?
I'd rather not.
A lot of people, I'm gonna go to Sonic with my American flags. I'm gonna go there. Like, I didn't hear this. But I just, I just think it's so funny that a welding gun allowed him to hear the thoughts of another person. I just think
Okay.
that's such a weird conclusion to jump to. But more frighteningly than knowing what his coworkers are thinking, which is frightening enough, he then received the telepathic record of a torture session conducted by malign entities in caverns deep within the earth. 2-for-1 special.
Yeah, that's nice.
You don't even get, it's not, you don't just get to hear what Kenneth be thinking about. You also get to hear any and all torture sessions beneath your feet in the hollow earth. Yeah. So from then on, he developed telepathic abilities that gave him insight into said malign entities. And from then on, he spent his time trying to learn more about this ancient civilization of beings. But first, Shaver would quit his job and become a what, David? A hobo.
Heyo.
Yep, for a period of time. I love a good hobo. I was just talking to Sam about this, and we were talking about he's like, hobo is like derogatory, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah,
I don't think
it is.
you do or you don't.
I believe it is now.
What?
Yeah.
But it's like hyper specific to somebody that works from town to town.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the general, I don't think the general populace thinks that.
You call them freelance workers now?
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess. Well, it was a non-derogatory term back in the day, so you can't
Yes.
cancel me. I'm going off a historical context. This is 1932 when hobos were all the rage.
Flatwoods Monster.
That's what it's fucking called. Yeah.
I kept thinking Flathead, but I was thinking
Yeah.
Flathead Lake.
I kept thinking pointy head firefighter.
Yeah.
Jump through door. But but Shaver's whereabouts and actions cannot be reliably traced until the early 1940s. There being an 8-year gap of mystery. So he was really training it up, jumping from train to train and being just the best hobo he could all across America for the last 8 years. So he just kind of disappeared. And Shaver claimed that while this was happening, that he was actually captured by said creatures and tortured for years, while others claimed that he was actually placed in a mental institution, but he was never given a clear diagnosis, apparently, about his actual issues, which I find kind of fascinating. I'm not one to just like completely write off. I mean, my logical brain goes, this guy had some sort of mental issue. That's why all this was happening. But I find it kind of fascinating that he may or may not have went to a mental institution, and they're like, we don't really know what's wrong with you. It was 1935.
Yeah.
So they're like, you got noodle brain, and then they just like put him in a straitjacket for 8 years or something, and you're like, that's not clinical.
Yeah. Those places were a little different back then.
Yeah, that's when they would like walk up to you and then like get a knuckle and knock on the side of your head and go, "Yep, it's all soup," and then they just walk away and not talk to you for 5 years.
Yeah, people probably developed more mental illnesses being there than they did going in.
Yeah, if you didn't stab someone with the American flag, you got put there.
Yeah.
You were a communist, and you had soup brain. You had to go. So
Goulash brain.
Exactly. So now he's back in 1940. He escaped the dungeons and of the torture system, whether that be mental institution or Hollow Earth. And it's 1943. And during 1943, Shaver wrote a letter to Amazing Stories magazine, which was, I guess, equivalent to something like National Enquirer, but a little more like sci-fi, fantasy oriented. Like, you could Google it. There's like a bunch of like cool like illustrations for their like covers and stuff. It looked like a cool sci-fi comic-y, but like possibly real stories of aliens and all this stuff. It was pretty popular.
Yeah.
So he claimed to have discovered, in a letter, an ancient language he called Mantong. Mantong.
Mantong?
Manthong. No. Mantong, a sort of proto-human language that was the source of all earthly languages. In Mantong, each sound had a hidden meaning, and by applying this formula to any word in any language, one could decode a secret meaning to any word, name, or phrase. Editor Ray Palmer applied the Mantong formula to several words and said he realized Shaver was onto something. I kind of don't understand the science behind this.
Yeah.
Well, they're also not giving me the formula, so...
Okay. Yeah, they're not providing you with, all the stuff you need.
He's like, if you bring an E to the front of the word, and you're like, that's Pig Latin, dog. And he's like, ite, upe, uke, tute. You're like, oh, this guy. So, according to Palmer, in his autobiography... So, Ray Palmer was the editor of the magazine, by the way, just to refresh you on that. According to Palmer, in his autobiography, The Secret World, Palmer wrote back to Shaver, asking how he had learned of Mantong. Shaver responded with an approximately 10,000-word document entitled A Warning to Future Man. And Shaver wrote an extremely advanced prehistoric races who had built cavern cities inside the earth before abandoning Earth for another planet due to damaging radiation from the sun. Those ancients also abandoned some of their own offspring here, and a minority of whom remained noble and human, who are called Teros, T-E-R-O-S, while more degenerated over time into a population of mentally impaired sadists known as Deros, D-E-R-O-S, short for detrimental robots. And Shaver's robots were not mechanically constructed, but this is a quote, but were robot-like due to their savage behavior. They were robot-like due to their savage behavior. I never really consider robots to be very savage.
Yeah, I haven't met too many.
Maybe Hal from Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
He was pretty savage.
Or the ones from the Alien franchise.
Those are androids.
True.
But so he's basically saying that they have Teros, which were the good ones, and then like they kind of stayed more like human, and then they had the Deros, which were like the evil ones, and they all lived down there. But I think he said like most of the Teros degenerated into the Deros.
Okay.
Remember, the coil is telling him his welding gun told him this. You just have to remember that.
That's right, yeah.
So these Deros, the bad ones, Deros, still lived in the cave cities, according to Shaver, kidnapping surface-dwelling people by the thousands for meat or torture, my two favorite pastimes. With the sophisticated ray machinery that the great ancient races had left behind, they spied on people and projected tormenting thoughts and voices into our minds, reminiscent of schizophrenia's influencing machines such as heirlooms. So they were just like, oh, these little things are like the cause of all your negative thoughts. Basically, anything that happened that was like bad or negative in your life, it was because of these Deros.
Okay.
So Deros could be blamed for nearly all misfortunes, from minor accident, injuries, or illnesses to airplane crashes and catastrophic natural disasters. Okay. Women especially were singled out for brutal treatment, including rape. And Mike Dash notes that sadomasochism was one of the prominent themes of Shaver's writings. Through generally confined in their caves, Shaver claimed that the Deros sometimes traveled with spaceships or rockets and had dealings with equally evil extraterrestrial beings. And Shaver claimed to possess first-hand knowledge of the Deros and their caves, insisting he had been their prisoner for several years. So, like I said, this was kind of reminiscent of how people thought of the occult.
Okay.
Where everybody wanted some, like, religion is still the biggest form of this, but it gave meaning to things that we didn't fully understand or that we wanted a different understanding of. Like, we kind of understood how weather and natural disasters happened.
Uh-huh.
Like, you know, tectonic plates, but there's always somebody out there that's like, no, earthquake done happened because Deros are fucking doing the Harlem Shake down there. Like,
okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I find so funny. And I also think it's really interesting that they are like, sadomasochism is one of the things that Deros have planted into our heads. So if you're into like chains and whips and shit, like Deros made you think that.
That's okay. I'll remember that.
They horny.
Yeah.
They horny and they not stopping until everyone is in leather. That's their new.
They were thriving in 2015.
It's a noble. Was everyone wearing leather in 2015?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so. I don't remember. I don't remember exactly what it was.
I'm just saying
leather was in, baby.
It's a noble cause.
Yeah.
So Palmer edited and rewrote the manuscript, increasing the total word count to novella length of 31,000 words. Palmer, the editor of the magazine, insisted that he did not, after the main elements of Shaver's story. What the fuck? Palmer insisted that he did not alter. My vision is fucked. He did not alter the main elements of Shaver's story, but that he only added an exciting plot to the story that would read like a that would not read like a dull resuscitation. So he's just like, yeah, I kind of like made this a little fancier.
A little easier to read.
Yeah, and he retitled it I Remembered Lemuria. It was published on March 1945 issue of Amazing Stories. The issue sold out and generated quite a response, and between 45 and 49, many letters arrived attesting to the truth of Shaver's claims, tens of thousands of letters according to Palmer. And the correspondents claimed that they too had heard strange voices or encountered denizens of the hollow earth. One of the letters to Amazing Stories was from a woman who claimed to have gone to sleep gone into a deep sub-basement of a Paris, France building via a secret elevator, and this is fucked up. After months of rape and other torture, the woman was freed by a benevolent tarot. So the tarots are still down there, apparently, with the Darrows, and one lone tarot, who were Disney's about to make a movie about, saved her, and another letter claimed involvement. Another letter claiming involvement with Darrows came from Fred Chrisman, later to gain notoriety for his role in the Maury Island incident and the John F. Kennedy assassination. That's not good. You don't want to be involved in that. But I guess he knew a little bit about the Darrows, too. He said the Darrows made him do it. So the Shaver Mystery Club societies were created in several cities. So this story basically spawned giant clubs of people who were like, yep, this is real. It's very reminiscent of QAnon, and they actually reference, like, he was like, QAnon sometimes pulls from this guy's like lore or like his like
teachings.
Yeah, they like use him at, like, I feel like they're like, this whole plan is like very reminiscent of what this guy did. And the controversy gained some notice in the mainstream press at the time, including a mention in 1951's issue of Life magazine. So it got pretty fucking big.
Okay.
Palmer claimed that Amazing Stories magazine had a great increase of circulation because of the Shaver mystery, and the magazine emphasized the Shaver mystery for several years. So this ran for years. Barkin notes that this other guy, Barkin, by any measure, the Shaver mystery was successful in increasing sales of Amazing Stories, and there was disagreement as to the precise increase in circulation, but Barkin notes that the reliable source reflect an increase in monthly circulation from about 135,000 to 185,000 issues. So it like put this magazine kind of on the map again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just trying to see if this is just talking about the sales more, you know?
Okay. Because, you wrote all this, right?
It's hard. There's not that much information about this.
Oh,
it's like...
That's why I make up shit about the next door neighbor killing cats.
Yeah. Don't come at me. Anyway, so many science fiction fans felt compelled to condemn the Shaver mystery as the Shaver hoax because, I think they started to catch on after a while. These fans, already distressed by Palmer's shift away from the literary or hard science fiction of earlier years to often slapdash space operas, because his writings begin to, like, he wrote so many of these and he just kept releasing them in every magazine, and they started to get like so wacky that they're just like, this is not the original source material. They're just going after the main guy who made up the story in the first place. And they're like, no, like, that's how religion goes, where one religion goes and then they go, no, this is too far away. I'm forming my own religion. So, organizing.
When LeBron made his own Bible, the King James version.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
King James version. So organized letter writing campaigns to try to persuade the publishers of Amazing Stories to cease all Shaver mystery articles occurred. In fact, Palmer printed a number of critical or skeptical letters sent to Amazing Stories, and he and other contributors occasionally rebutted or replied to such letters in print. So now, like, the editors are like, fuck you. I'm not taking these shaver stories out of here. These are good. These are true. How dare you question like these blah, blah, blah. And as Bruce Lanier Wright notes, the young, I don't know who this fucking person is, the young Harlan Ellison, later a famously abrasive writer, allegedly badgered Palmer into admitting that the Shaver Mysteries was a publicity grabber when the story came out. Palmer angrily responded that this was hardly the same thing as calling it a hoax. So basically, they're doing the Tucker Carlson shit.
Yeah.
Where people are like, oh, they knew this was fake the entire time, but they ran with it. History really fucking repeats itself. That's all I have to say.
It truly does.
Like, they basically like, everybody at this magazine knew this motherfucker was kind of crazy and none of it was real, but they kept running it because it's sold
content.
Yeah, it sold so many things. And the guy's like, I never called it a hoax. This is bullshit. And he tries to backpedal and stuff like that. So Dash writes that the critics of the Shaver Mystery were quick to point out that the author was suffering from several or classic symptoms of paranoid schizophrenia. Sorry, that's not funny, but it's funny that they took him this long to kind of get to that point. And that many of the letters pouring into amazing stories recounting personal experiences that backed up the author's stories patently came from the sorts of people who would otherwise spend their time claiming that they were being persecuted by invisible voices or their neighbor's dog. Literally. This is like, I can't even, it's just so reminiscent of today. Yeah. During 1948, Amazing Stories ceased all publication of Shaver stories, and Palmer would later claim that the magazine was pressured by sinister outside forces to make the change. He's like, I didn't do it. Someone else made me do it. And science fiction fans would credit their boycott and letter writing campaigns for the change. The magazine's owner said later that the Shaver Mysteries had simply run its course and sales were decreasing, so they pulled it. During the 1960s and 70s, just to kind of wrap this up, during the 1960s and 70s, after his writing career, and now living in obscurity, Shaver searched for physical evidence of the bygone prehistoric races. He continued to look for like bygone prehistoric races, and he claimed, this is kind of interesting, he claimed to find it in certain rocks, which he believed were rock books that had been created by the great ancients and embedded the legible pictures and texts in the rocks.
That's cool. Imagine how strong your bookshelf would have to be.
So for years he wrote about the rock books, photographed them, and made paintings of the images he found in them to demonstrate their historical importance. He even ran a rock book lending library through the mail. That is heavy shipping.
Yeah. Sending
a slice of polished agate with a detailed description of what writings, drawings, and photographs he claimed were archived by Atlanteans inside the stone using special laser-like devices. So
That's very cool.
So what he would do is he would take a piece of granite or agate, and if you've seen it, it's usually like you've seen granite where it's like a bunch of little specks and stuff, and then he would outline what he believed was like a picture. It's like looking at clouds and being like, that one's shaped like a duck.
Well, it's like astrology. It's like Orion's belt, and it's like, that's just a couple stars lined up.
You know what's weird though with the Little Dipper, Big Dipper? I could kind of see like the lines. Yeah. Like I know they're not there, but my eyes,
baby,
they're fucking with your testosterone levels.
I know.
But anyway, yeah, but kind of like astrology, where they look to the stars and they're like, this looks like a scorpion, this looks like a Taurus, this looks like, but like he would like outline these pictures. You can like Google it and see like his rock books and shit like that. Like they're not that fascinating, but they actually went into a lot of museums. Like they still travel around. Like LA had like an exhibit at like a normal fucking museum of his rock books. I was like, what the fuck?
What was that museum I used to live next to?
Oh my god, the Museum of Prehistoric. oddities or something.
No, that's what it basically was, but it had a somewhat normal name.
It was prehistoric something. It said like
Yeah.
prehistoric something. I don't know if you want to look it up, but just to finish this up, Shaver's writing went on to influence much of what we know today in extraterrestrial depiction and pop culture. He also went on to influence other pieces of sci-fi and horror media, and both Shaver and his work, as well as Amazing Stories, are among the esoteric and unusual ideas referred to in the Philip K. Dick novel Confessions of a Crap Artist, which we have referenced during the Philip K. Dick episode, who also most likely suffered from pretty severe mental illness.
Yeah. The Museum of Jurassic Technology.
Jurassic Technology, that's right. Yeah,
that place rules.
It was weird as hell.
If you're ever in Culver City area, go to that museum. It's amazing.
It's weird as hell. I like it. It's very, very fun. And also in the role-playing game Dungeons and Dragons, which was heavily influenced by pulp and weird fiction in its development, there exists a race of evil subterranean dwarves called the Darrow, which were first described in the AD&D first edition of Monsters Manual 2. These Darrows make raids on the surface to kidnap humans for use of slaves and food, and some among them called savants, possess magic and psychic powers, which they can use to influence people's minds. They are said to have a main stronghold deep underground where they plot to overthrow humanity. So, this guy basically, just to conclude all this guy basically had, I don't want to like be dismissive because like, hey, if the Terros and the Darrows like fucking come up one day, I'm gonna be like, I talk shit.
Yeah.
But this guy basically kind of had like a mental breakdown from like a welding gun and wrote a bunch of stories to a magazine and became wildly popular, and for about 10 years pulled a QAnon on everyone and then fucking wrote rock books.
What did he ask for?
But he influenced like a bunch of like pop culture and shit like that in terms of like this hollow earth theory and subterranean. I mean, that was a whole nother thing on its own, but you know what I mean.
Rock and stone.
Exactly. But yeah, so that's the story of Richard Sharp Shaver and the Shaver mystery.
I meant to bring it up. Did you see the stuff about Peru?
No.
Apparently, a small village in Peru was attacked by aliens.
What? When?
Like 2 days ago. Yeah.
What happened?
I forgot to actually like look into it. But yeah, apparently like tons of people had like, of course, horrible photos or videos and stories saying all these aliens were attacking them, and they were not friendly aliens.
Fuck.
Yeah, not good.
Fuck. Those are the Darrows.
All right, I'll get in my story here.
Where are my Terros at? Come on. Well, they all
stand up.
They all in fucking France saving that one woman. I can't wait for Disney to make that.
What are you talking about?
That woman was like, I went into a subterranean basement. I took an elevator down, and I was kidnapped.
That one woman.
I
wasn't sure which woman we were talking about.
There's not a lot of women in the story. It's just the one that got kidnapped. But shout out to the tarot.
All right, Dobin, we've established you're a cat guy. Yeah.
I'm an animal guy, but I do love cats.
Yeah. I'm a dog guy. We've got a real peanut butter and jelly situation going on.
Okay, but no, I have to argue this because I love dogs just as much.
Okay.
The only thing my only beef with dogs is that dogs need way more attention, and cats I can like leave at home for like 12 hours and I don't have to worry
I leave
about
my
them.
dog in a cage for 12 hours every day.
I thought you leave that Parisian woman in a cage.
I'm joking. So let me ask you.
You told me you do that. You told me you leave your dog in a cage for 12 hours a day, and you put like little lit cigarettes through there for him to eat.
Yeah.
Good guy. Oh, well, yeah.
So
Fuck.
let me ask you: are you a big spy movie guy? You like the world of espionage?
I don't know how those two are related. Cats and espionage.
Oh yeah.
Sure, I love espionage. I love Get Smart. I love Mission Impossible.
Okay.
I need one more.
The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah, with that cannibal in it. My uncle's a cannibal.
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to say it.
He's not. Please don't research him. He's not. He's a nice man.
Well, how would you feel if I told you about a time when these two worlds collided?
Okay, I'm interested.
That's right. I'm talking about cat spies. Government cat spies.
Cats are great spies.
Yeah.
You never know. They're very light in the feet.
Yeah. Well, so this is the story behind Operation Acoustic Kitty.
Is that behind the term cat burglar?
No.
No, I just mean is the cat burglar because they're good at being silent.
Because the cat's always sneaking up and stealing the pie out the window.
It's true. Or lock it off your grandma's chest. Neck.
What?
Where do you wear a locket? Would you consider a locket on the chest or the neck?
Well, it's a necklace.
It's a locket.
So
it's a locket.
It hangs from the neck, but it rests on the chest.
Hangs from
I
the
don't
neck.
know. It's a stupid fucking question.
These are the questions we ask, okay? This
It's
whole
true.
podcast is
Stupid
stupid fucking questions. Okay, sorry.
So the Acoustic Kitty was even cooler than it sounded. It was a sort of feline android, a cyborg cat, if you will.
Okay, wait. What? I feel like you came in hot. Am I missing something? Did I miss a paragraph?
No.
Say that again. Android Kitty. What?
Yeah, the Acoustic Kitty.
Okay.
From, like I said before, from Operation Acoustic Kitty, was even cooler than it sounded because it was a sort of feline android, a cyborg cat, if you will.
Whoa. Okay, I hope you're dropping a year on me soon.
Are you looking at my screen?
No.
In the 1960s,
Thank you.
A CIA surgeon implanted a microphone into a cat's ear and a radio transmitter into the base of its skull.
Here's the problem. You put a microphone in a cat's ear, here's what you're going to hear all day. Me give him kisses. Me give him little kisses on his ear.
Be hearing the sound of the bottom of my boot.
Okay, you're going to stomp a cat to death. Cool.
The surgeon also sewed in an antenna into the coat of the cat.
The what of the cat?
The coat.
It got a coat?
Like the fur. Come on, man.
Oh, okay. I thought I had a big old trench coat like a spy.
7 cats in there.
Well, one rated R movie ticket, please.
I did write this story a month ago, so I haven't read it since. CIA ops were hoping that they could then train the cat to sit near foreign officials to spy in and capture what they were talking about unsuspectedly.
Do all foreign officials have a little salami in their pocket?
Oh, yeah. Especially the Polish.
Oh, they do. They love a sausage. That's my Polish accent. Sausage. I don't know what Polish people sound like.
I don't either.
Sausage.
So, right off the bat, can you train a cat?
No. A little.
Sure, when they hear the can of a fancy feast pop and the mush is exposed, sending delicious scent airborne, them cats come a-running.
You say turkey shangora, I am there.
I don't think I've ever said that before. Turkey shangora?
That's a type.
A fancy feast?
It's in a Father John Misty song. Yeah, it's a type of cat food.
Okay.
Turkey shangora.
What is shangora?
I don't fucking know. I don't eat it. Yes, I do. I don't know what it is. It just tastes good.
Why do you smell like shangora all the time?
That's the third race of alien in the Hollow Earth. They're the kings and queens.
They're the kings and queens of hollow tuna cans. So you could try to say that the cats were trained for, spying, or when they finally, successfully shitted in that plastic box with the sand that you insane people put in your fucking laundry room. Absolutely disgusting. Goddamn cat people.
You pick yours up. You pick
Be a
up,
man. Put your hand into the thinnest plastic bag imaginable and go pick it up.
Yeah, you pick up like hot fucking steam coming off it shit, and then you just carry it around with you in your hand. You fucking psychopath.
I put it in my pocket. I'm not gross.
I agree. Both situations are not ideal. Wait, you put it in your pocket?
That was a joke. That's way worse.
Imagine.
I put it under my hat.
I washed it in my pocket. I forgot to take it out.
I take my hat off and I put the bag on my head and I put the hat
Ooh,
on.
like Babe Ruth with a piece of cabbage.
It's cold out, keeps me warm.
Yeah, he did that with a cabbage to keep him cool. You know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
I don't really buy that. I feel like that thing would be steaming in 2 minutes.
Yeah, he kept a fucking slice of ham under there. Did you see him? There's no vegetables in that man's diet or on his head.
It's the trick. Sorry, sidetracked. But can cats be trained like that? My experience with cats being wildly allergic to them is that I don't want anything to do with them, which makes them want to sit on me and try to rub their crusty assholes all over me.
They know that you're a kindred spirit with your crusty asshole.
Yeah.
It is true.
Oh, that guy's got one.
I smell it.
Look at mine.
I smell the turkey shangora caked on his cheeks. The weird thing about cats is the less you like them, the more they want to be like.
Yeah.
They
They're
want
always trying to get up on me. I'm like, get the fuck away from me.
It's true. Like I know my brother's like not a huge fan of cats either, and like I know cats that like walk up to him, and I'm like, what the fuck? I want to pet you.
Yeah.
They're like, no, this one.
That's why they suck. So the CIA said for its first official test, CIA staffers drove Acoustic Kitty to the park and tasked it with capturing the conversation of two men sitting on a bench. Instead, the cat wandered into the street where it was promptly squashed by a taxi.
Shut the fuck up. Are you serious? Please tell me your joke. This is a David joke. This is a fucking joke.
No, goddamn. I can hear the cyborg cat crying out, "Kill me."
Dude. Where was this? Istanbul? Where was this?
I think this was in New York.
Oh. Fuck. God damn it.
Just immediately ran towards the fastest car.
Maybe that's a lesson to humans. Don't be putting fucking antennas
Exactly.
and microphones in their ears.
I'm just really curious, like, on what that cat actually looked like. Like, was it all fucked up with cords hanging off of it and stuff?
It looked like a fucking Frankenstein's monster.
What were those villains in the Star Trek movies when they were like clones of like the captain, but they had like the black hardware all over them and like their skin was white?
You think I know anything about Star Trek?
I don't either. I'm just saying I remember that.
The Clognets.
The Clognets, yeah.
I probably maybe have got that right.
Might have.
I know what you're talking about though. It's like
Yeah.
looking like fucking Kano from
Street Fighter?
Mortal Kombat with this
Exactly.
glowing eye, metal hanging out of his face.
So Emily Ants, I think that's how you say that, who wrote an article about this titled "Frankenstein's Cat
Nailed it.
Cuddled Up to Biotech's Brave New Beast," said the problem was that cats are not especially trainable. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
The CIA said our final asparagus examination of trained cats convinced us that the program would not lend itself in a practical sense to our highly specified needs.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If not cats, what do you think the next best animal to spy on people by putting microphones inside them is? Roly-poly?
Squirrel.
Squirrels are so fucking chitter-chattery, man. They're
That's
always
true.
chewing on something. They're
Take
gonna
their
ruin
vocal cords.
ruin
They're already
all.
digging around.
No, but
Just
but
yank 'em.
they're always. It's not, they are vocal, but like it's their chewing. I feel like they're always eating something.
Well, that could be the good thing though, because you're trying to spy on someone and they're eating something, they're gonna be right up on there.
True, but do you think it's gonna fuck the audio up?
Only if they feed them. And you think these diplomats are gonna be giving handouts to squirrels?
I do like a parrot because like parrots are
It's too noticeable though.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They're
But
the
you want
only
them.
there's the only animal that people willingly want
Yeah.
on their fucking shoulder.
It's true.
Leave it there. Look at me, I'm a pirate. Ha ha ha. You know? And then you just start talking
That's
about all your
good.
piracy.
Yeah.
People get it on fucking bird camera. Bird audio.
Yeah.
Audio, we call it. In the bird audio world, you can buy a parrot full of technology at Radio Shack, but they shut
Yeah.
down. You can't get them anymore.
But also, don't parrots repeat what you say?
Why are
So
we
we don't
even
even have
putting
to-
microphones in these motherfuckers?
I'm just saying, if a parrot's flying up on me, I'm gonna get real tight-lipped real quick. I'm not gonna say nothing.
I hit the yellow cake uranium. It's pretty good.
That's good.
Wow,
I don't
we
know,
really
That's a hard one. What animal?
hamster. You
No,
could
they die
keister-
too fast.
but you could keister it.
That's the one animal that will try to beat the cat's record of getting ran over.
No, it would somehow find a falling piano in New York and go underneath it like those fucking 1940s cartoons. Like fucking these guys trying to get a piano in a high rise and the hamster would just like, oh, oops, I happen to be right underneath it.
Whoopsie daisy.
And it would pop out the top with fucking piano teeth.
Okay, so if we know the CIA half as well as the common public would like to believe, this does not mean that this great and costly failure would halt the CIA in trying to make creatures spies again.
The Daros.
In 2006, the Pentagon's Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, also known as DARPA,
Diaper.
sent a call to arms to all scientists around the world to see who could successfully create cyborg insects.
Dude, did I not say roly poly?
Yeah.
Roll that bitch right up on a
Yeah,
dictator.
those things are too tasty, though.
They're
I'd be eating them.
pretty good. You see Stalin like picking them off the ground and eating them.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I'm hungry.
So with the buzz out,
It is a
DARPA
B movie.
DARPA heard back from the University of California, Berkeley. And with the helping hand, they successfully created a cyborg beetle whose movements they could remotely control. So it's not going to kill itself. They can keep it from doing that. Which they claimed in Frontiers magazine in Integrative Neuroscience in October 2009. So
2009?
yeah, it took them 3 years to make the beetle.
I thought this was happening in 1960.
Yeah,
It took them more than 3 years.
No, I'm saying in 2006 they put out the thing saying someone help us.
Oh, I see. Do you remember that show Big Bad Beetleborgs?
Of course, we talk about it all the time. The
know.
ghost looked like Jay Leno.
Yeah, that's right. No, that wasn't the ghost. That was the fucking weird blue guy. He didn't even have
Yeah, he was a ghost.
You thought he was a ghost?
He was.
Oh, well, I know there was the mummy.
The
Was there
mummy.
Frankenstein?
I know there was a werewolf.
Yes, werewolf for sure. Anyway, do you just think that like that show is inspired by a cyborg beetle?
Well, Big Bad Beetleborgs predate Cyber Beetle.
Oh my god, you're fucking right.
Yeah.
They inspired Cyborg Beetle.
Yeah. Well, you think about it, Beetle's got so much body, so much room for microchips. and
They're hard
wires.
too. They're crunchy. You can't
They're
just
strong.
Yeah.
They got wings.
But I'll tell you one thing. I really just want to stay away from those fuckers. So I don't think
Really?
they're gonna catch me on microphone.
See, I like those great horn beetles. Those things are cool.
You like a dung beetle because they help clean up your shit crusted ass.
They're cool. They're an interesting animal. Gotta give them that.
You know what they are, and they roll good balls.
Very good. You know, that's where they say cavemen came up with the wheel.
Are you serious?
No.
That would actually be like kind of sick. Shit wheel. Hey, actually, that's where I heard that 74-year-old man inspired his death.
From the cavemen?
They
Cavemen
fucking.
creating the wheel?
I don't know. I was just trying to make a connection to wheel of cheese falling on that man. He probably shit his pants.
I think most people do when they die.
They do. Almost everyone, except for me.
That's what you think.
You can't embarrass me.
I'm going to get the receipts.
I'm dead, but I'm not embarrassed of dying.
So, Berkeley scientists appear to have demonstrated an impressive degree of control over their insect's flight. They reported being able to use an implant for neurostimulation of the beetle's brain to start, stop, and control the insect's flight, reported Wired.com, adding, they even command turns by stimulating the basilar muscles, whatever the fuck that means. Am I right?
I
now,
love a
of course-
basilar muscle.
I heard a motorcycle in the distance. They're coming.
I think the government's like literally controlling David by motorcycle noises.
Hold on, there's a beetle.
it's,
There's a beetle in my room.
it's standing in my doorway with a rolled up newspaper.
Now, of course, the idea spy bug sounds terrifying and a little bit like playing God, but it should also be noted that Walmart, of all people, filed a patent for robotic bees in the spring of 2018.
If I wasn't already scared of Walmart, now I am.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, maybe we shouldn't be so worried about the CIA and spy bugs spying on other countries. But maybe we should be asking Mr. Wally K. Walmart, what the fuck is he doing with the Psy bees?
Do you think that like they're gonna? I know they got like self checkout, but do you think they're gonna use all the rest of the checkers and like fire them and just replace them with like hives of bees, like bees that form people? And then you go, hey, I was looking for like the Scotch tape, and then they like bring you to an aisle, and you're like, no, this is like flowers, and then they're
It's
like,
honey.
they just keep bring. No, they don't eat
They
honey.
just keep stinging you.
Yeah, they just keep bringing you to sugar water and flowers. And they're like, no, I want tape. And they're like, here. And they're like, no, that's more flowers and sugar water.
The only thing I can think of, the only thing I can think of in a positive light is that they are doing it because the bees are dying at an alarming rate, and maybe they're trying to come up with a solution for pollination. And they're just being smart, and they're like, hey, this is something that's going to happen, so let's get ahead of it and patent this shit, and we'll be able to not worry about superstores.
I hope you're right.
I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
I don't know. I don't have that much faith in Walmart. There has to be profit involved, right?
Well, what's funny is like Walmart used to be like the devil, and then it turned out like every single store like that was doing the shady shit they're doing, and then people are like, oh yeah, Walmart's actually not that bad.
They're like, wait, but they got the lowest prices. I kind of like them now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my story of the acoustic kitty plus other cyborg animals for spying.
Yeah, I guess we should stick to fucking 60-year-old Tom Cruise.
Just digitize his face and everything. Then you
I'm
see him
afraid-
at the premiere, and you go, "Good God!"
I'm afraid he's going to walk into traffic one of these days. He's going to try to jump a bus and fucking
A double decker.
yeah, he's going to be like I'm going to jump a volcano, and we're like, "Tom, don't do this."
Tommy, don't do it.
Tom, I'm going to bungee jump on a volcano. Yeah, that's interesting, but I'm going to be very cautious, and I'm going to kill any small animal that is near me when I tell my secrets. I can't trust them.
Speaking of which, when I came home from work, I went to go let the dog out, and she looked really guilty, and I was like, "What'd you do?" And there's a big old beetle dead in her crate.
Oh, dead beetle.
I was like, "Did you catch that outside and like sneak it in earlier today?" at,
You
like,
see
lunch?
you see a beetle. I see a Russian spy.
Exactly. So she knew what was going on. She killed that spy.
That's a true American.
Yes, she is.
Hell yeah. Give her a treat.
Gave her a little salute.
A salute and a nice little piece of salami. Little piece.
Oh yeah. This episode's brought to you by BarkBox.
This episode is brought to you by Salami Sleeve.
It's just the sleeve. There's no meat in there.
It's just that kind of chalky paper on the outside. That's
you're
what
you're not really sure if you're supposed to eat it or not, but you eat it anyways.
You eat it because it tastes good. Make you stronger. It's like milk.
Daddy, I like the salt paper.
Okay, I think that's all we have for you guys today. So thank you for tuning in and listening to these stories. We love telling you them. If you guys want any more info, go to Camp Strange Podcast on Instagram. Click link in bio for any merch or I don't know what the fuck else we got there. I don't know.
I haven't been there for a while.
Me neither. Rate, review, subscribe.
Is that site still up?
What?
We still have them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then if you want to send it an email, campstrangepodcast@gmail.com. I really have not checked that. I need to check that. If you guys send anything, I'm so sorry. I'll check it. I'll check it this weekend, I promise. And just keep on listening. Share it with a friend, dude. Whatever the hell you want. I don't care. We're not making money off this. I don't fucking care.
Doesn't affect us.
You think I give a shit? I got beetles in my house. I got bigger problems than this shit.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm done. David, do you have anything to say before we officially get the hell out of here?
Yeah, don't forget to... Oh, sorry. I did it last week. Last time, so
that's my thing. You did a good job.
I don't think I did.
You paused for a long time. I liked it.
Because Jared said he felt I didn't pause long enough.
Oh, no, you were great. You paused longer than I paused.
Yeah. What if I just did that and edited? I didn't post. Just stretch it out 3 minutes.
Just 45 minutes later. All right, you have anything to say?
No.
Okay, good. And don't forget to... stay strange.